2001, Pixar dished out its next film, which is Monsters Inc. And at first it seems odd that Pixar would have a film about monsters due to Pixar mostly having that family entertainment theme going on. But this isn't at all what you'd expect from this film. The story is about James P. Sullivan, or Sully, and his best friend Mike Wazowski. And this universe of the monsters, the energy that supplies the monsters with, I guess, energy, comes from the screams of children. And that's where these two work, in a facility that collects this energy. Sully scares kids, and Mike, well, he pretty much just handles the paperwork. And their main rival is a monster named Randall, who's sneaky and can blend into any background. And one day Sully sees an unattended door after work, and wouldn't you know it, a child has crossed into their world. Most of the film then revolves around Mike and Sully trying to get this kid, who they've named Boo, back into where she came from, which, believe me, is a lot more complex than it sounds. Things do get serious, however, when they find out Randall and their boss, Mr. Waternews, is going to kidnap children and suck every last scream that they have. Ooh, that sounds bad. Two fight and stuff, but eventually they do overcome a few arguments and they see eye to, I guess. And wouldn't you know it, they save the day. And in the end, they discover that children's laughter is much more powerful than their screams. The film is very fresh. The plot about getting into all this trouble and then trying to fix it, it's been done and stuff. But the way it's about monsters and then being able to see their world and having all this funny dialogue, and I love all the little trivia that comes here and there about monsters. For example, my personal favorite is the restaurant Harryhausen, which is named after Ray Harryhausen, the guy who made stop-motion animated monsters in movies like Clash of the Titans, Mighty Joe Young, and Jason and the Argonauts. This film is rock solid. I think it's a lot better than Bug's Life, but it's not as good as Toy Story. It has this effect that is very appealing, and it has several memorable scenes like Toy Story. The characters are wonderful to see in action, and their dialogue with one another is genius. Again, there's something for everyone in this film, children and adults alike. The monsters aren't too scary for kids, or not even scary at all. Most of the time, they're just goofy looking or very familiar looking. At the end of the day, you don't mind watching this film over and over again. The characters are real enough that you can sympathize with them, even though they're monsters, and the way they tie everything in is just really greatly done. It's just really genius. Pixar was definitely on the right track, and I think this film is where they found their place. By that, I mean they would start doing standalone films and not really sequels anymore. Instead, they'd be giving us a fresh look at a new world, new characters, and new stories. I must admit though, Pixar's next film went really downhill for me.